Would you say Kasama is right where it should be after the 30 years that you've spent in the town?
No.
Do we lack resources to do bigger things like you mentioned over the road network? Are we lacking resources as Kasama?
No, we are not. We are looking at CDF and the project which are done by CDF. The bridges, today we are saying they have all been washed out, and the few which are there, they have been poorly done. And some feeder roads which have been done from the CDF, today they have no drainages, today they have no gravel.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the PAMUPANDO program, a program that brings on leaders ranging from political leaders, organizational leaders, and simply residents that provide accountability in society, and thereby bringing on them on this program, making sure that they face direct the questions on issues that range from political issues, issues to do with service delivery, so that they provide the accountability that is needed and the answers to the questions that you, the citizens, have concerning matters that concern you. So today on the program, I've brought in Mr. Francis, popularly known as Mr. CheweCo, to help us discuss the particular issue concerning Kasama's development from the time he came in as a resident up to now. What are some of the issues that he has seen? What are his experiences, and what does he think should have been done over the period that he has been in Kasama? Welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you. As you have already introduced, I'm Mr. Mutale Francis, popularly known as Mr. CheweCo. I'm a businessman. I want first to take this opportunity to say thank you to LONO TV for having invested this very important infrastructure to educate, entertain, and of course to deliver. LONO TV has been in Kasama for quite some time, and my prayer is LONO should stay in Kasama as long as we wish, because this is development. We've seen a lot of radio stations, we've seen Eagle Television, but this is another special program called PAMUPANDO. Have been here for so many years, and as we go on, I would want to share a few things with the listeners.
All right, thank you so much, sir. And you are being a resident of Kasama, and we have brought you in to simply share accountability concerning the state of Kasama. Of what incense are you as a person to Kasama? What makes you an important person to Kasama?
That's a very important question. Thank you. I'm very glad that I've also been chosen to appear before PAMUPANDO. And a few remarks I would give is my background. I was brought up in Mungwi. Mungwi is about 30 kilometers from here. It's a typical rural part of Kasama. It used to be called the Mungwi Rural Council. Now this is Mungwi District. It's an administrative point for Malole constituency. I would want to share a few things, looking at Kasama, looking at Mungwi, Malole, and any other part of Kasama. Specifically, we're talking of Kasama. I've taken key interest because this is home, and there's nothing sweeter than home. And I want to enlighten a few challenges, a few developments in Kasama.
All right, thank you so much. And now, understanding that accountability is not just a buzzword, what specific attributes or experiences, or even the moral anchor that makes you a person who is right to provide accountability? Why Mr. Francis? Why should Mr. Francis say anything about Kasama's development?
I'll start with life. Anything in life must be taken account to. If we see our sisters, our brothers, whom we call street vendors, I don't like the name street vendors, I'll call them business women and men. They account for what they sell. They account for what they are purchasing. Just like in a home, there's a budget. No matter how much, how rich, how poor you are, it doesn't matter. We know how much can we spend in a day, in a week, and in a month. So to take up the issue of Kasama, I want to look at Kasama specifically, why we should take account for the development of Kasama. Okay. But we have to ask ourselves a lot of questions and a lot of answers. Whom should be accounted for?
Okay.
Which government department? Is it which government institution or the private sector?
Okay.
But let's not forget also to appreciate, mention Auditor General's office for their role they have taken in auditing and taking accountability expense on taxpayers' money. Okay. Because taxpayers' money, that's our money. We pay tax, that's Zambian people. So that's our money. We need to know how much this money is spent. We need to know what projects has to be taken to. What are the priorities?
All right, interesting, interesting. So perhaps Mr. Francis, how long have you been in a Kasama resident? Specifically Kasama, now that you talked of being raised in Mungwi, but of course you've been a Kasama resident, specifically Kasama, since Mungwi and Kasama are no longer together as they used to be. How long have you been in Kasama?
I've been in Kasama for more than 30 years now.
Okay, so that is 3 decades and more. Yes. And looking at the 3 decades or 30 years that you have been in Kasama, looking at infrastructure, the streets of Kasama, and the economy itself, I want you to be honest. Would you say Kasama is right where it should be after the 30 years that you've spent in the town?
I'll be very honest, no.
Okay.
I have the reasons to say no. Let me give it. By
no, do you mean we are better or we are behind?
We are behind.
Why do you say so?
That's a no. When we look at today, as President Hakainde Hichilema under UPND government and the introduction of decentralization policy, who are in charge of decentralization? It is ourselves. Are we participating in developing Kasama? Are we participating in the accountability of Kasama? How is Kasama today? How was Kasama 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago? There are certain issues would give a credit, and there are certain issues completism. You know. When you look at road infrastructure, let's go from the traffic lights to Chinsai Station. Let's go to Mlenga Hill, where we have Mlenga Hill Clinic. It's unacceptable. It's a gravel road, but it has never received any maintenance. But through CDF, money has been sent throughout Zambia in all districts at the same time. There's nothing like Kasama receives money 2, 3, 4 months after Isoka or after Lunda at the same time. Okay. But again, we're going to ask ourselves, these roads, who is responsible? We're talking of feeder roads. It's a local authority. It's Kasama Municipal Council. The question is, are they receiving money to maintain these roads?
The same roads.
Have they been given, allocated money to buy machinery? We call them yellow machinery, yes. Have they purchased? Yes. Are they using them? No. Is it prudent spending? No.
Okay. You've talked of the road infrastructure. What other specific areas would you say Kasama is behind on before we even talk about
when we say road network, that inclusive of drainage, that is inclusive of street lights. So we are saying in Kasama, is it conducive to do business in the evenings? When we talk of a 24-hour economy, which has been declared, are we doing that in Kasama? Are we capable to accommodate 24-hour economy in Kasama? Because we are talking of the road infrastructure, which is poor. And when I say the local authority has failed to maintain our feeder roads in Kasama, it's truly they have failed. We can go to Mlenga Hill, we can go to Chikumanino, we can go to Mukulumpe, we can go kwa Mwamba, we can go kwa Soft Katongo, we can go Tazara, we can go as far as Lualuo, down kwa Soft Katongo, down Kuchipolo, we can go Kusafumina kwa Wege. There's completely nothing until we reach the marketplace. But again, we are saying, when we go up Kuchitamba, up to Tazara, there's completely nothing. Kwa Kungu, there's nothing. When we go Kumilima, there's nothing. So road infrastructure goes the street lights. And when we look at the street lights in Kasama, it's total darkness.
So
total darkness. There's no drainage in Kasama. The few drainages which are there, they are blocked. But again, we cannot blame the rain season. Rain season, say, blessing from God. It gives us water. We go into agriculture. We go into fish farming. it is life.
All right, thank you. You've mentioned the road infrastructure, including drainage system and the street lights. Perhaps are there any other things, before we even talk about who is responsible to maintain those things and whether money is available to maintain those things, is there anything else apart from the road infrastructure that you think has been stagnant over the 30 years that you've been a resident of Kasama, apart from the roads?
Well,
what else?
I'll point out the planning.
Okay.
The plans of Kasama has made Kasama today look as a failure. We need to replan Kasama. We need to decongest Kasama. If you look at the streets of Kasama, those which accommodate heavy trucks and light trucks and cars, we are using the same roads. But again, if we look at how do we decongest Kasama, I'll tell you from Ruaruo, we can do a good road going kwa Chipolo, going kwa Bwebe and join location. You cannot pass through the traffic light in the CBD when you are going to Tazara. You cannot come from Pika, you want to go to Mungu, you pass through Chinsari Station, up Mrenga Hill through Nelas, kwa Kungu through Lukasha Bridge and go to Mungu. So what we are also saying is, can we replan?
Okay.
And when we look at the traffic lights in Kasama, we have only one traffic lights, which is the CBD of Kasama. But a lot of network, road network, requires a lot of traffic.
Okay.
People in Kasama have a lot of motor vehicles. People in Kasama have a lot of motorbikes. We have a lot of pedestrians. The population has grown, but we need also to look at the safety of a pedestrian. We look at the safety of a motorbike rider. We look at the safety of our children in the schools. Okay. But again, we need to ask ourselves a lot of questions. How do we plan? How has it been planned? Is it today the way it was? We are saying no, there was no traffic in Kasama. Today we have a lot of traffic.
Okay, so thank you so much. So from my understanding, you've quite mentioned the road infrastructure, which has been the main point, and of course replanning Kasama, because the plan that are existing right now could be the plans of the past 30, 40 years ago. Now, we understand that over the 30 years that you've been a resident of Kasama, you cannot surely say Kasama has not changed at all. There is nothing better that we can see in Kasama. What are some of the positives over the 30 years that you've been in Kasama?
I'll look at the 30 years, then I'll be very honest to say, can we look at the hospitality industry?
Okay.
When we look at the hospitality industry, we're talking of the lodges, the hotels, and the motels, and also, we're also trying to look at the northern circuit. But again, when you ask our northern circuit, when we ask ourselves about the tourism sector, how is our hospitality industry featured in Kasama? I would say it's excellent.
Okay.
We have our own people in Kasama, our own businessmen in Kasama. They have put up excellent hotels, excellent lodges. There we are done. Again...
So maybe not to cut you short, we are saying when it comes to the hospitality industry, are we saying mostly it's the locals themselves, our businessmen and women that have made our...
Kasama has been built up. Kasama today, when we look at the few achievements, is from the people of Kasama. Themselves. And what I would also say here, I would not forget also to appreciate the Republic of Zambia, the President, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema. I would also not forget, I'll be failing if I don't say thank you to the Paramount Chief Chitimukulu, Mwinelubemba, for the airport.
Okay.
The airport.
That is one big government infrastructure.
Yes.
Or big project
that's been done. A big project, and Kasama Airport has become an international airport. Thanks to Profright. Thank you to Urban Hotel. Thank you to the New Mall. Thank you to Match Milling. Thank you to Zambia's National Service. You see, when you look at Kasama today, let us look also on the production of food. We will not forget also to mention Kalungwishi Estate.
Okay.
In Kasama, we are able to refine sugar. There's Kasama Sugar. There's Kasama Coffee. There's Miracle Fishery. There's Kansato Coffee. So we have a lot of production, and we have seen Mr. Kaniki is a former district commissioner for Mungwi. Mungwi is an administrative point for Malole. Once upon a time, he was a government worker, a civil servant. Today, he has gone flat out into production of bananas. Okay. Today, all the bananas on the streets are from Mr. Kaniki. So Mr. Kaniki will say, thank you. all civil servants can do it the way you have done it. Kasama people can still go into production specifically into food industry.
Okay.
ZNS today, Zambia National Service, they managed to produce mealie meal and reduce the price of mealie meal. Once upon a time in Kasama, we had a shortage of mealie meal. And the private sector in Kasama wanted to take advantage of pricing. So Zambia National Service, working in conjunction with food reserve agents, they did the best they could. Today, we are talking the price of mealie meal has stabilized. Zambia National Service, they are able to produce eggs, they are able to produce other vegetables on the market of Kasama. So I want the other government departments to emulate ZNS. What
ZNS is doing. And just to add on what you've said about ZNS, we recently heard, is it ZAF also has started producing mealie meal. I'm not very sure if it is already on the market, like you have said. So now, before we even move on to some other issues, I want us to just take a very short break. So please stay tuned even as we go on a very short break, and we'll continue with Mr. Francis as we look at Kasama development.
LONO Studios cares about your memories, and what better way to keep your memories than having pictures and videos. As LONO Studios, we cover events such as weddings, kitchen parties, chilanga mulilo, birthday parties, as well as corporate events. If you are looking for quality pictures and videos for such events, look no further than LONO Studios. Visit and like our Facebook page at LONOZM.
Okay, thank you so much. Welcome back to the PAMUPANDO program. I'm joined by Mr. Francis, popularly known as Mr. CheweCo, and we are discussing the issue of accountability and the development of Kasama over the 30 years that he has been a resident of Kasama. So now, Mr. CheweCo, we understand some of the developments that have happened in Kasama over your period, and we understand that for these things to happen, there must have been resources coming from whichever direction. It could be the government, it could be the people themselves. Now, do we lack resources to do bigger things like you mentioned over the road network? Are we lacking resources as Kasama?
No, we are not.
Okay.
I've already mentioned the President of the Republic of Zambia, Mr. Kainde Hichilema, under UPND government. Before they came into government, they had policies which they had sold to the people of Kasama and to the people of Zambia. And today we are able to see free education.
Yes.
Today we are able to see CDF coming to the coffins of Kasama Municipal Council. But again, we have to ask ourselves a lot of questions. Government is sending the money, but is Kasama Municipal Council able to spend this money prudently? Are they giving the contracts as presidential directives on good quality, delivery on time, and good pricing?
And of course, maybe not to cut you short, when we talk about CDF fund, CDF has got directives on how it should be spent. It's not just money that comes into the coffers of the council, and it's them to decide where to specifically take that money. And where is it failing in terms of the system?
I've mentioned
there are directives.
I've mentioned of decentralization policy. It is the people of Kasama ourselves, through WDC, World Development Committee, where we submit what we need, for example.
Is that done? Is that being done?
If the people of Chambeshi, in the location at Chambeshi Market today, they decide to have an ablution block at the market, it is entirely the people of Chambeshi, the people of the location, who have Buseko Ward, they have actually decided, submitted to their councillor submitted to Kasama Municipal Council, of course through their full council meeting, as councillors, the mayor decide this is a project which the people
want.
Of Buseko Ward, this is what they have submitted, this is what they want. And very disappointing, when you look at the Auditor General's report on the audit queries, Kasama Municipal Council sometimes have not followed what the members from the World Development have also chosen.
The problem is not the submissions of what is needed. Or maybe the submissions that have been made ever since the decentralization haven't been just good enough to change the face of Kasama.
I will specifically look at Kasama. One time we received the Minister of Local Government Rural Development, who expressed a very disappointing statements, that he was very disappointed with the works Kasama Municipal Council, the contracts they have given to contractors who have done very poor workmanship to 1x3 classroom block before actually commissioning these infrastructures were cracked down. Some of the infrastructures are their roof blown off. Very disappointing. You see, when you look at our local authority in terms of CDF, of course CDF comes with the breakdowns, directives yes, on the breakdowns, which must be followed. Just like in any other district and any other constituency. I want to take this opportunity to mention that the local authority is managing Lukasha constituents.
Yes, and Kasama Central.
And Kasama Central. So we have 2 CDF. But my suggestion and my feel is that the council has failed to develop Kasama. We are looking at CDF and the project which are done by CDF. The bridges today we are saying they have all been washed out, and the few which are there, they have been poorly done. And some feeder roads which have been done from the CDF, today they have no drainages. Today they have no gravel.
Okay,
today they are in a bad state.
Yes.
Let me finish.
Please.
When we talk of projects from the CDF and local generated money, because there are 2 different things. There's local generated money generated by the local authority themselves,
yes.
And then CDF comes as fund for the projects and for the people of Kasama, where the people of Kasama has to take key interest to account for this money. Do we have in Kasama a well-built infrastructure which is not appearing and which has been given a merit by Auditor General's office? I doubt.
But again, we recently saw the provincial minister and other stakeholders going round showing us some of the CDF projects that have been done. Perhaps, didn't you think the money that they receive as the local authority is just enough for those things that they have done? Perhaps it's not enough to do what you are thinking should be done.
You know, that's a very good question. When we talk of CDF, we're talking of a taxpayer's money.
Yes.
We're talking of the money belonging to us as the people of Kasama. And when we look at what the minister, our provincial minister, went through, and what is his comment, and we also compare from the Auditor General's comments and audits, and we also look at specifically what infrastructure they have put on and what the test of time that infrastructure will stand. That's another thing. So we are saying on the CDF projects, on the seed-funded money, Kasama Municipal Council have not done well. Because when we look at CDF, we are looking at a lot of components.
Yes.
We are looking at bursary, we are looking at loans, and we are looking at also, if we saw and look at loans as per se, Kasama Municipal Council issued official statement through their public relations officer that they have failed to recover the money which they had given loans. At certain instances, they have not even allocated the people they had given the money. So, being a revolving fund, we are saying it's unfair because that money is a revolving fund. They can't issue a statement to say, they risk to be blacklisted. Apart from being blacklisted, they need to recover this money because the people of Kasama, that's their money. It needs to go from one cooperative to another, one individual to another. So, all in all, we are saying, when we look at grants also, we want to ask the local people and the local authority, can you show us the beneficiaries from grants? And if these projects are able to stand up to now. And if you look at the local generated money, how much money have they made generated for the last 2 years, and what have they done? I've already given an example, always. I've given an example to Kapongoro Motel, which was an existing hotel. It has its own clients, its own workers, and it was able to make money, pay wages and salaries, and contribute to day-to-day running of the local authority. It was demolished. Their BOQ, which they borrowed, could not sustain to rebuild the new Kapongoro Motel.
Okay.
Any question?
Perhaps before we get into the details of what hasn't been done, when you look at the comparison you are making to say CDF hasn't actually done what it is supposed to do, are you comparing what our local authority, because we're saying they receive the same amount of money, what comparisons are you making to other local authorities that have done better than our local authority?
I'll get in some
before you answer that one, also when you look at the roads that you mentioned and the standard of certain works, do you think those are just substandard, or perhaps the money is not just enough for to distribute into all these projects? So comparison, what local authority is doing much better than our local authority? Two, is it the money is, are we playing a blame game because it's the local authority?
I've heard your question.
Yes, please.
I will cite an example of Kanchibiye constituency.
Okay.
They get the same CDF.
What has been done in Kanchibiye?
Kanchibiye, they have spent their money prudently. Their member of parliament is on the project. The councillors and the people of Kanchibiye, they are able to follow up. The people of Unsama, they are able to follow up. The people of Kasama, we must follow up what belongs to ourselves. The money is enough, but again, the priorities which the management makes. For example, I'll give an example. When you go to the President's Park,
yes,
well, we call it the President's Park.
Yes.
When you move from town, going to the High Court or the provincial administration, we pass through the President's Park.
Yes, we do.
Today, the President's Park in the tall grass. Today, the President's Park has a small footpath to cross to the other side. If you want to go to the police, there's nothing has been done. There's a small ablution block which has been built, and at the moment they have stopped. So roughly, I stand to be corrected. If they have spent 100,000, I wish that 100,000 was spent at Kasama General Hospital. So what we are saying here
priorities
is priorities
are not being followed properly.
If this 100,000, or if 1 million, which is allocated to the President's Park to build up the toilet, which is the President's Park is not busy. It's not busy.
But again, Mr. Francis, I don't want to cut you short, but you mentioned earlier on to say what the council does is not their own decisions. It's submissions coming from the councillors through the
Ward Development Committee members.
Yes, yes. Maybe those are the submissions the council is receiving.
Okay. Let's do this. There are two things here. One, there are certain submissions which Kasama Municipal Council have not followed from the Ward Development Committee members. And there are certain issues which Ward Development Committee members have submitted, which Kasama Municipal Council needed to give an advice. That's why we have a legal department. That's what I'm saying. If we, the Ward Development Committee members, could choose to put up an ablution block at the President's Park, when Kasama General Hospital, just a few 100 meters from there, they have challenges with the sanitary conditions. The sewer system at Kasama General Hospital is unacceptable. It was built a long time ago, just after independence. So, the sewer, they have a lot of challenges. The water supply, in terms of reserves, water for the whole hospital, it is a challenge. Why can't we get that 1 million and do a hospital where we have the patients, where we have the mother's shelter, where we have ourselves to go for medication, we have everyone, the eyes goes to Kasama General Hospital. We have the doctors, we have the nurses, but the condition, imagine you are sick and you have no good sanitary services. Imagine you are sick in bed, there is no water supply. Imagine you are sick, you are in the tall grass. Imagine I'm sick, you've come on my bedside. At the father's shelter, the mother's shelter, there's no electricity. It is tall grass, there's no water supply. So if that 1 million was directed to Kasama General Hospital, how happy I could be.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Francis. Now, talking of priorities and what submissions come to the municipal council, that brings us to what kind of projects the municipal council can do, to what extent in terms of accommodating the projects they're doing with the money that they receive. That brings us to the council and parliament. Do you think some of the projects you've mentioned, for example, the drainage system at Kasama General Hospital, isn't that way too big for the municipal council to handle? And those projects that needs to get separate funding, because Kasama General Hospital is a big place, and when you talk of the sanitation issue, water and everything, that could consume a lot of money, which the municipal council also needs to spend on other small projects which they are aligned to.
I'll start to say it's very unfortunate that Kasama Municipal Council, they have very poor timing. Sometimes they go to grade, maintain the roads, our feeder roads during the rain season. When other Chinese companies or other Zambian companies, the private sector, go on leave, on break during the rain season. So when we look at Kasama General Hospital, I'll start by saying, from the main gate at Kasama General Hospital to the mortuary, there's a stretch which is a feeder roads. Go there when it is raining. It was done by the machinery of Kasama Municipal Council. I doubt what type of an engineer they have to do that gravel road and to make it so worse than it was. And I want also to take this opportunity to talk to the town clerk, to Kasama Municipal Council, that the job you did at Kasama General Hospital is so bad that if I was there, I would appeal to the provincial minister, I would appeal to the permanent secretary, I would appeal to Kasama General Hospital management to stop the works.
The feeder road itself.
Feeder roads itself at Kasama General Hospital.
Is it just the feeder road, or there is also that frontage stretch?
The frontage stretch was also poorly done. So in short, what I'm saying, all what Kasama Municipal Council is doing is poor workmanship. I'll give an example. I'll give you an example of going to Mukulumpe.
Yes.
That road is a feeder road, and when they went to do emergency works, after it was washed away, the stones which they have put there, it's not gravel, they are stones.
Okay.
So in Kasama and Kasama Municipal Council, in short, what we are saying is there is no much money to be spent on Kasama General Hospital that the Kasama local authority can fail to do. What we are saying is just wrong priorities.
Okay.
When the main gate at Kasama General Hospital is so congested with mourners, with patients, with students, with taxis, and even ambulances on emergency.
Okay, Mr. Francis, you've mentioned the issue of having enough funding. Maybe let me pose this question. Kasama Municipal Council receives funding. The funding is right there. Then there is a road, it is during rain season. Then there is a road which is very bad. It needs to be worked on. Do we expect the municipal council to just sit back and relax and wait for the rain season to finish before they work on the roads? Perhaps money comes during the period when there is the rain season, and do we expect them to just let the money stay and wait until the rain season is done?
I love your question. It has become so traditional. We are looking at the last 10, 20, 30 years. It has become tradition that Kasama Municipal Council takes key interest to maintain these gravel roads, feeder roads in the rain season.
So it's not just this year?
It's not just this year. If there's an emergency, that's why the President of the Republic of Zambia, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, and through Parliament, they have allocated more money on fuel, about 6 million plus are starting to be collected. So if there's an emergency, there's no harm. But again, when you look at the same emergencies, they are done on the same spots, year in, year out. Go to Auditor General's office as the best reference and check how much money has been spent at Kasama General Hospital, how much culverts have been spent at Kasama General Hospital. We don't need to talk too much about Kasama General Hospital. All what we need is to work.
Okay.
The main entrance I've already mentioned, it's congested. So we have a local authority. They also one day and another go to Kasama General Hospital. So we need to decongest this. How do we do it? There's a mortuary on that side. We need CDF to be part of the money to be spent to put up a shelter
for
for mourners.
Okay.
And we need also to do an open up from the police camp, either to the right, to the left, to decongest. So CDF has made it possible to other constituencies in Zambia. Other constituencies in Zambia, they have built up police stations.
Using CDF?
Using CDF. They have built up health facilities, like health posts, clinics. But what have we done at Kasama General Hospital? What have we done at Kasama Zambia Police Division headquarters? Just opposite Kasama Municipal Council. You can't accept the cells. You can't accept water supply in the cells. You can't accept the toilets. Just opposite the main Kasama Civic Center. Okay. It's unacceptable. It's poor leadership.
Okay, maybe moving on before we even go on a very short break. So you can strongly say it is not the issue of funding that is bringing Kasama behind.
Let me give you...
The funding is enough, according to you.
Let me give you the background. Kasama Municipal Council today, all councillors are from one political party, the Patriotic Front. It's just some 2 months ago when there was some by-elections and the people of Kasama voted for His Worship the Mayor, Mr. Simposa, from UPND. But again, we're asking Mr. Simposa, the new mayor, give us your targets.
Okay, perhaps before you go to the mayor, we will come to that, because I believe those are some of the issues we'll talk about. Before you get to the point of bringing in the new leadership in the council that we have. Kasama, as leaders ranging from councillors, we go to the mayor, then we go to the members of parliament. Can we totally just say it's the council that has made Kasama go behind in terms of achieving the development that we need, or perhaps the policies are also not well implemented? Who do we point at when we don't see development? Is it just the council, or there are other stakeholders that needs to be held accountable?
When we talk of garbage collections, Kasama Municipal Council. When we talk of local feeder roads, it's Kasama Municipal Council. When we look at poor drainages, it's Kasama Municipal Council. When we look at poor darkness in the streets of Kasama, it's Kasama Municipal Council. When we look at our trading marketplaces, Tazara Market, Chambesh Market, Newtown Market, Chukumanino Market, Lualuo Market, it's Kasama Municipal Council.
Thank you so much.
When you look at the sanitary conditions on all these marketplaces, including our bus terminus, Kasama Municipal Council. Okay. When you look at our road signs, which are not visible, which are not there as Kasama Municipal Council.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that information, because I really wanted us to handle that part, because when certain things are happening, perhaps the people out there do not know who to shout at or who to point the finger at when certain things are happening. So thank you that you've brought out those highlights of who do we talk to when we don't see these things. Are there anything else apart from those that you've mentioned that we can talk to the municipal council when we don't see these things, before we even get to what do we point to the members of parliament when we don't see them on the side of the council?
The government of the day today, under UPND, through President Hakainde Hichilema, they have given local authorities support, land cruisers, to monitor development in local areas like Kasama. Okay. There's CDF land cruiser to monitor, to implement development in Kasama. Kasama Municipal Council have been given allocated money from the CDF to procure machinery. Kasama Municipal Council has been given the mandate also to look at local generated money, to run and to raise money and to see, just like any other business can do. From their local generated money, they can go into agriculture. They can give poultry. They can go into vegetable growing. They can go into maize growing. They can go into a milling plant that produces and produce maize and milling meal. They can also do just like any other businessman can do. Already in Kasama, we have shortfall of housing unit. They can borrow money from the banks and put up housing unit and put them on rent. Just like I've mentioned, they had Kapongoro Motel, they demolished it. Up to today, it's non-functionable. They borrowed money where they got the money against an audit query to pay the loan, because what they should have done is Kapongoro Motel should have been on life, raise its own money, and pay.
Okay,
Kapongoro Motel is sitting on 2 hectares of land. What they should have done was not to demolish Kapongoro, but to put up another Kapongoro Motel on the same piece of land, and that Kapongoro should have grown. Kapongoro used to give a service to the people of Kasama. Kapongoro Motel used to give recreation to the people of Tazara, to the people of Musa area, to the people of Soft Katongo, and even to the passerbys and to travelers through Kasama and through. It used to be a good motel. Today it's not there. So the local authority have answers to give. The local authority procured a paving machine at a huge cost. Today they have not done anything. It's already been given an audit query. They should have paved Kasama and make Kasama a better place to live in. Kasama should grow to a city status. Because of their failures, they have failed and they are pushing to a private sector.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Francis. Maybe before we go on a very short break, we've mentioned quite a number of things that the local authority should have worked on and needs to work on. Now, we have we choose members of parliament as well. What are some of the key notable policies or things that we can look out to the members of parliament that they should have done or they should be doing to help Kasama? Because we have 2 members of parliament in Kasama.
Lukasha and Kasama Central.
Kasama Central. Perhaps, maybe we can't go into the details of mentioning specifically who and why they didn't do what. Let's focus on what they should have done or what they should be doing in order to develop Kasama.
Let me take this opportunity that the member of parliament for Lukasha is Mr. Chisanga. The member of parliament for Kasama is Honorable Sibongile Mwamba. Honorable Chisanga, for Lukasha, what we expected from Lukasha is to have a number of youth benefit from bursaries.
Is that the job of a member of parliament?
He has to see that the CDF money is prudently spent. The same youth, they participate in voting.
Yes, they do.
They have a stake in choosing a member of parliament. So he's answerable to the youth, to the voters.
Yes.
But again, Honorable Tsanga should have also taken key interest to say the infrastructure in Lukasha constituency, how good quality, how much money has been spent, who are the contractors, and if it were badly spent and the infrastructure were not of good quality and good pricing, what steps has Honorable Tsanga taken?
Okay.
What have we heard from him? What measures has he taken? For Honorable Swongili
in Kasama
Central, my appeal is, do we have the street lights? Is Kasama General Hospital in a good status? Is Kasama Zambia Police having the facilities which would need?
But then, Mr. Francis, those are key noticeable things you've mentioned are basically mayor responsibilities of an MP to check on those things. Maybe this is where we are lacking behind. Maybe our people do not really understand the roles of the people we choose. Those are, of course, they are responsibilities of the members of parliament, but they are mayor responsibilities. Theirs is to represent us in parliament. Have they done that to provide the policies, push for certain things that Kasama need?
I would say this. August is coming. It's just around the corner. People aspiring to be members of parliament, they will come all over our streets. They will be promising, if you vote for me, I'm going to provide street lights in Kasama.
And sometimes that is a member of parliament saying that, which is not their job.
They should give that service to us. They come to us on most of our rallies saying, if you vote for me, I will take key interest of Kasama General Hospital. I'll adopt the mother shelter. I'll look at the water and sanitary conditions Kasama General Hospital from the pocket money. I'll lobby from other sources of money. I'll make sure Kasama General Hospital be a good facility. Some even promises from the High Court going to Kasama General Hospital, they'll put up good industrial solar street lights so that Kasama General Hospital Road is visible.
It's very visible.
And they'll make the road more broader that people, pedestrians will walk freely. The riders, motorbikes will ride freely. The ambulance on emergency will have its own lane to the hospital, but it's very unfortunate. Up to today, there's nothing. The same people who wants to be members of parliament, they have made themselves very clear that they will spend CDF in a prudent manner. It's the MPs. So this issue, we cannot say MPs are not around these issues. They are also involved
in the CDF,
and in the CDF issue. And we have to take it seriously that in Kasama and Rukasha constituents, all the MPs are from one political party. That's Patriotic Front. All the councillors are from the same political party. So if I've explained from the beginning the challenges of Kasama, why Kasama has not developed, why Kasama is stagnant, we are saying poor leadership. And if we say poor leadership, we are looking at one political party. And again, it goes to the people of Kasama. This August,
but then,
vote-wise...
Mr. Francis, I don't want to cut you short, but you mentioning a political party, is it relevant to the conversation? Because despite coming from a political party, somebody should be able to execute their duties. We are talking about CDF money. That is not political money. It's money coming into the coffers of a council. So how is PF coming into the discussion?
Excellent question. We vote for our councillors from ward level to represent us.
Yes.
We vote for them.
Yes.
We vote for the mayor. We vote for the member of parliament. So if we vote for them, they present us. And from ward WDC, we submit what we want.
Yes, we do.
A councillor coming from Patriotic Front, MP, the same MP from the same political party. But again, we are saying the last 10 years, Patriotic Front has been in power. Kasama has been under Patriotic Front. Let's call a spade a spade. We don't need to cheat. We don't need to fear to say the truth. What has led Kasama, what it is a Patriotic Front, the people of Kasama voting the same councillors, voting the same MPs, voting the same mayor from one political party. That has affected us. So if we are saying CDF has not implemented well, it's the councillors through this full council.
Yes, we are calling them councillors, not specifically Patriotic Front councillors, because the moment they just get elected, they are no longer councillors for the Patriotic Front. They are councillors representing the people themselves. And is it a pattern that people should take? Because perhaps, like you have said, we are going towards elections. Should people really start thinking of voting for somebody just because of a political party? Doesn't it have to be the qualities they see? So it doesn't matter from which political party somebody comes from?
It's important to mention a political party. Just like I'll give you an example of Kanchibiye. The member of parliament for Kanchibiye is Sande Chanda from Patriotic Front. There's nothing wrong, and he has delivered.
So it doesn't matter which political party somebody comes from. It's the quality of leadership.
It's a quality of leadership. But again, I'm saying, let's not choose the full council to be dominated from the same party. It has to be debated. No. We need a balanced council chamber, which people must air their views and debate on priorities.
Okay. So it has to be a balanced council.
It has to be a balanced council.
But then if the people feel only people from a certain political party are the ones that they are seeing value and commitment as well as vision in, there's nothing wrong with them choosing.
It's democratic. They can choose. And this is what we are going through in Kasama.
What are we going through in Kasama?
Challenges of development, no streetlights, no drainages.
Is it political party or it's simply the leaders that are not implementing?
Once upon a time, the councillors from Kasama Municipal Council walked out to protest amongst themselves, failure to deliver. So it's a political party.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Francis. We are going to go on a short break, and when we come back, we continue with the discussion on why do we still have stagnancy in Kasama per se, and the issues to do with accountability. Stay tuned.
Great news from LONO Studios, a safe place for entertainment, advertisement, broadcasting, and social interaction. You can now advertise your goods and services on LONO TV at a very affordable price. You know publicity makes a good business stand out. You can get yourself a TV advert, radio advert, LONO TV Facebook page post, TV program sponsor shout out. Remember, at a very affordable price. You can also digitalize your business by subscribing to our digital marketing packages so as to advertise your business on social media platforms and websites, e.g. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter. You can subscribe to a bronze package, silver package, or golden package and get yourself that social media business boost. More followers, more customers, more sales. LONO Studios, we are here to show the world what you have while you sit back and do your business. Come show the world the beauty of your products and services.
Welcome back, our viewers, and we are still discussing Kasama development and the issue to do with accountability in as far as Kasama is concerned. Over the past 30 years that Mr. Francis has been a resident of Kasama. We are not just talking 30 years, we are talking more than 30 years actually. So Mr. Francis, looking at the 30 years that you have been in Kasama, can you tell us of a period that you thought Kasama was going in the right direction to say, okay, here things are, there is hope? Was there a particular period you can mention and say, okay, from this period to this period, there was rapid development, things were going right and we were in the right direction?
I think the period is now.
It's now?
The last 4 years.
Okay.
That Kasama now is going in the right direction.
Why do you say it's the last 4 years when you were from just mentioning to say there are a lot of challenges that Kasama is facing? Things are not being done.
Kasama has faced a lot of challenges in the last 10, 20, 30 years. But again, I'm saying the right direction should be now.
So it's not that Kasama has seen the best development in the last 4 years. The issue is it's heading in the right direction.
Yes.
Okay.
So when I say Kasama is going in the right direction the last 4 years, it is now. It's now that we are able to see Kasama International Airport.
Okay.
Previously, Kasama Airport was a gravel runway.
Okay.
The running way at Kasama Airport was gravel. It was like a small thing. A presidential jet would not land there. Most of other planes, even if it was ZAF, could not land there. Today, any type of an airplane can land there. So we are saying the last 4 years, the airport, Kasama Airport, has gone in. It's a signal going in the right direction. We have more than 3, 4, 5 flights from pro-flights in Kasama. So we are in the right direction. So we are saying CDF has now gone
from 1.3
to over 40 million. So this is the right direction. Or what we need is good leadership.
Okay.
So we are saying again, let's not also fail to talk about Munelu Bemba, Praman Chief Chitimukuru. Look at the areas from the airport which we are calling New Kasama. People have built up mansions.
Those are people.
Chambeshi have also supplied water. Let me take this opportunity to appreciate Chambeshi Water and through their managing director and management of Chambeshi Water for having taken time to install good pipes, water reserves to the New Kasama, to install good water supply to Mlenga Hill, to install good supply to the location. There could be a few challenges, but again, I want to speak to the people of Kasama to say, can we stop vandalism? This is a high cost to Chambeshi. This is giving Chambeshi a lot of headaches and sleepless nights to have water pumped in Kwasoft Katongo because 1 or 2 pipes have been broken and have been stolen. So again, Kasama Municipal Council comes in as a culprit. When they are doing their feeder roads, communicate to Chambeshi Water and Sanitation.
So there is also an issue of communication.
An issue of communication where these pipes can also be shown to the grader operators that you can go this side, you cannot go this side, there's a pipe. So the way to go, this is the 4 years we are seeing the private sector in Kasama putting up building companies, going to a lot of lodges and hotels, putting up a lot of housing units. And this is a time we have seen, again, we will not fail to speak about free education. We have seen a lot of private schools and government schools enrolling pupils because of free education. We have seen a lot of family members, we have seen a lot of our neighbors, even from the nearby villages, children are going to school. This is the way to go. This is the best gift you can give.
I want you to be very clear there. So it's not that over the past, because the question was, during the 30 years that you've been a resident of Kasama, what is the period you would say Kasama has seen rapid development? So the tag there is not that it has seen rapid development in the past 4 years. The tag is, according to you, we have headed in the right direction.
Correct.
For the past 4 years.
Correct.
Thank you so much. Now, moving on, Mr. Francis, recently you earlier on mentioned the issue of Kasama electing a new mayor, and you brought up a number of issues, but I said we will get to that. Understanding the issue of having a new mayor in place, what are some of the ticks you can point at over the past 3 months that we can say indeed our new mayor has worked on? You are silent.
This is a very tough question. I wouldn't want to go into issues where I compromise my status as the people of Kasama. I'll keep quiet.
Okay. If you choose not to answer that one, we can perhaps move on to the next question. But I will still come back because it is important that we handle that. But perhaps I wouldn't force you to answer it that way. But I have a question that I would want you to answer afterwards. You are somebody who has been in Kasama for over 30 years. And when we talk about development, it's not just the government which has to bring development. We talk of the private sector. You are in the private sector. What noticeable developments have you as an individual brought to Kasama that people can be proud of and say, over the 30 years that you've been a resident of Kasama, Mr. Francis has brought this as something we can benefit from as residents of Kasama?
You can repeat the question.
You have been a resident of Kasama for over 30 years.
Yes.
What are some of the noticeable developments that we can credit you for as a noble resident of Kasama?
That's a very good question. I'm among the few residents of Kasama who have invested in Kasama.
Okay.
And my investment is in real estate.
Okay.
And stand me witness to those watching us that I've brought up and I'm running a company known as CheweCo Complex Limited with a lot of tenants. Some of them are Access Bank, Professional Insurance, Unify, Christian Boutique, Madison General Insurance, FSG Zambia Limited, it's a funeral service, Airtel Zambia, Zambia Open University, Isunga Radio, Grand Chichi Night Club, our wellness center, Friday Barber Shop,
so
Northern Eagle. So in terms of, when I look at what I've contributed in terms of real estate, on overall, you'd find one tenant has got about 10-15 workers. So those 10-15 workers, we're talking of a lot of family members. So basically, it's a plus that I've done, and I've also gone to talk about, I've stood with enough energy to provide checks and balances to Kasama Municipal Council. I've talked of the provincial administration. I've talked of Auditor General's office. I've talked of Kasama General Hospital. I've always been happy that I'm a friend to Drug Enforcement Agency. I'm a friend to Cheshechepera School for the Disabled. I'm a friend to most of the community members on the street.
Thank you. Talking of you providing checks and balances, there are 2 or 3 things that you stood on, and those things actually came to be worked on, and we can proudly say you advocated for certain things and they have been implemented over the years.
Yeah, I'll talk of, for example, I'll talk of Chambeshi Water and Sanitation when I called the managing director that Kasama General Hospital is facing a lot of challenges in terms of sewer system. I'm happy today I can sit proudly and say thank you to the managing director for having been going to Kasama General Hospital to give assistance to the management and look at the fecal matters are dealt with professionally. I'm also going to take key interest that I've been a sponsor of the programs of Drug Enforcement Commission to sensitize the public, our youth, on the abuse of drugs, related drugs, and excessive beer drinking, and the dangers which are there. I'm happy to mention that I'm a friend to Kasama General Hospital. I've taken key interest that Kasama General Hospital picks up. I've taken key interest to take Kasama Municipal Council to task on accountability. I've taken key interest to see that I also be part and parcel to those who are appreciating Urban Hotel, the new shopping mall. And I'm a friend to the business community of Kasama, that Kasama residents can take key interest to give business to our local businessmen. I'm also part and parcel to see that our local contractors are sensitized to do good work. I've been on board to appreciate Zambia National Service for the milling plant and for their good works to stabilize the price of milling meal.
Thank you so much. So it's not just about criticizing. You, as someone who's providing accountability, you need to give credit when certain things are going right. And I'm sure you refused to comment on the issue of the mayor. But I would want you to actually just give us what are some of the things that you would want the new mayor to work on. I don't want you to comment what you don't want to say, but I want you to, since we are talking about providing accountability, what are some of the major things that you think the new mayor should work on for in terms of the remaining period that he has? Because we are talking about the betterment of Kasama. 3 things that you think the mayor needs to look at in the remaining period that he has.
Your Honorable Mayor of Kasama, Mr. Simples, I've decided to be quiet, to make comments, because I've not heard you put up a strategy on what will be the targets in the few months you've been in office. But however, personally, I would have loved the following to be done. To close the dumping site of garbage after the airport, because that's in a residential area. I would want your Honorable Mayor, if you took key interest that the drainages and what we have gone through this rain season were unblocked. I want to see your Honorable Mayor that if the tall grasses were slashed in the township of Kasama, in the CBD of Kasama, and on the President's Park, your Honorable Mayor, I would want and I would have appreciated if you gave us the account for Kapongoro Motel, why Kapongoro Motel was demolished, how much money was spent on demolishing, how much money was borrowed, and up to today why it is not completed. Your Worship the Mayor, can we also look at, does it take you to be in the full council to give us a report to why the septic tanks at the bus terminus are very filthy? They are not connected to Chambeshi and Water and Sanitation. Why your Worship the Mayor, garbage collection has not improved despite CDF procuring another truck to have 2 skip bin trucks. Your Worship the Mayor, may I know why we have no road signs before we go for August elections? Your Worship the Mayor, the few schools, Chifwani, our pupils, our children are struggling to cross the road. At Ituna School, the same. Kasama girls, the same. At this crossroad, at Mutale crossroad, people have died. Motorists have been killed. People have lost life. People have been injured. Can we have the traffic lights? Why have you not done that?
Okay, thank you so much for that particular appeal and of course the questions. That is why this program is here to provide accountability so that we get answers to those particular questions. Even as we conclude, I would like to bring you to, I believe this discussion can go on and on, but unfortunately due to time we'll have to come to the end of the program. But there is one particular question that I would want you to answer even before we close, and that is the issue of the loans and grants that are given to people. There is this is out of this particular discussion, but there is an interesting concept about the loans not given back. Rumor has it that there are cadres that get loans, and as a result, when it is an issue of trying to collect these loans, they fail to collect them because certain people feel they are entitled to having those monies. Is there anything wrong with a cadre who is qualified to get a loan through CDF getting that loan? What is wrong with that?
I think what is wrong is the trend. Like, it is becoming normal that from UNIP, from MMD, from PF, and today people are speaking the same language of cadreism, getting loans and without paying. There is nothing wrong if you are a cadre for a named political party to benefit from grants, for benefit from loans, as long as the conditions are fulfilled. If the loan is to be paid back within 6 months, it has to be paid. But again, we need to look at certain areas and angles. You can be a cadre and you get, for instance, 2 million kwacha, and your proposal was to go into farming of Irish potatoes. Now, if we look at the drought and the project of Irish potato farming, and drought affects your farming, I think there is nothing wrong to fail to pay, because the same loans are insured. This is government money; they are supposed to be insured. And if you fail, the loan must be written off, and insurance comes in to investigate to the ground. And the drought is something we have seen. However, there is nothing wrong, even for those who are not cadres, again, to get loans. But again, the question is, how many applicants are cadres? How many applicants are not cadres? Again, how many are beneficiaries? It becomes unfair to give loans to cadres who cannot pay. It's unfair to give cadres loans who cannot implement a project intended to. Again, it becomes unfair for a cadre today, tomorrow, the year in, year out, the name appears to be collecting loans each year in, each year out without paying back.
So in short, if the process is right, everything is followed through, there is nothing wrong.
There's nothing wrong.
Thank you.
We are all Zambians.
Thank you so much. As we conclude, maybe your last words, even as we conclude with the program. Your last words to the people and everyone who could be watching this program.
This is a very good program, PAMUPANDO. I'd want other Kasama residents also to come to LONO TV and air their views about Kasama and how we should grow Kasama, how we should take key interest to account for the money which belongs to Kasama. Kasama Municipal Council has been disappointing. It's an institution which has completely failed. So I'm calling upon the Minister of Local Government and Rural Development that your Honorable Sir, come and look at Kasama General Hospital. Come and also look at how we can help small-scale entrepreneurs. Let's also take key interest also to inform Kasama Municipal Council that these boys and girls, our children, our mothers, who trade in mobile money. It could be MTN, Airtel, Zamtel. You are charging them more than too much as trading licenses. Where they come from, they pay rentals. They need to feed their families. Reduce the running cost of doing business in Kasama. We need to encourage as many youth as possible. Don't damage their properties as to my booth. Be good to them. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. There you have it. We've had an interesting interview with Mr. Francis, a Kasama resident who can testify to say he has been a Kasama resident for over 3 decades, that is over 30 years. And be rest assured to say what we discuss here is simply accountability. This is not a political program of any nature. It also just accommodates people that have provide accountability, provide answers to some of the questions that the residents in the communities are asking. It gives the platform to individuals that are running institutions, leaders in political positions, not just political positions, but leaders in general, to give answers, give their vision, give accountability to their works. Thank you so much for joining us. Remember to follow LONO TV. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, LONO TV, Lava Nobleness, LONO TV, Kumweso.
We show you how the face of Kasama has changed each and every moment. Our production crew has now advanced in streaming live in full HD up to 4K. LONO Studios is well equipped for the service. We have 4K cameras for high resolution, DJI drone for aerial view, live streaming video switcher, gimbal for smooth rotation of an object, and many more equipments. You can book us for live streaming to render your services in sport activities, church services, road shows, corporate meetings and workshops, social gatherings, and many more adventure activities. Book your session now on 0973-173461. Visit or like our Facebook page at LONO TV. Love and nobleness.